You know who you are. Yes, you. You know, the very people from groups and coteries who have always thought they are the best Christians. You know, the ones who call themselves the true believers. The people who have an American flag in the front of the church and think that religion and politics are one in the same, but yet vote for cruelty and bigotry. A name you probably don't know, but a man that you clearly don't know at all. Moses, the designated writer of the Torah. No, he's not an author because he could not have written about his death or the anachronisms about him in the texts around his lifetime. Moses says, "You shall not oppress the stranger, for you know the heart of the stranger because you were strangers in the land of Egypt." Exodus 23:9. And that word could be alien too. Love the alien, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. Deuteronomy 10:19. So is that loving the alien? Putting them in concentration camps? The Torah commands Israel to remember its own suffering under Pharaoh and to build a society where the foreigner, the widow, and the orphan are protected and loved and nurtured, not persecuted. A guy that you don't seem to know at all. Let's see, what was his name? Jesus, using the Greek word makarios, happy or fortunate, says, "Fortunate are the merciful." Then in another place, he says, "What you do to the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you do unto me." Now this Greek word, elakistos, speaks of the smallest, least important, lowest in status, weakest or most vulnerable. Now who do you think Jesus meant here? Well, in today's situation, the brown-skinned people would fit in perfectly, whom you want to deport. Jesus reverses the cultural system by declaring that how we treat them is how we treat him. Ironically, you Trump supporters are actually reverting back to the old heartless and mean-spirited way that Jesus warns against. You go against Jesus' words and the words of Torah. You've forgotten the Torah's core command, love your neighbor as yourself. The bill that you endorse takes away health care for the sick, food from the poor, shelter from the refugee and the homeless, and then you sit in church on Sunday mornings or Sunday nights as if you didn't already crucify Christ again. Your vote for Donald Trump was not out of love, but out of hate, out of spite, out of punishment for the Democrats whom you hate, for the liberals, which you think is a bad word, and you demonize the word liberal without ever bothering to learn what the word even means. It's a good term. So now, you're claiming purity after all that? There's no place at the Lord's table for those who feast on the suffering of others. You can't claim to be pro-life while taking food from the mouths of hungry children. You don't get to wash your hands like Pilate did and act as if the guilt isn't yours. You think assigning someone else to do your dirty work for you and carry out the cruelty on behalf of you makes you clean? That casting a ballot is some kind of sacred cover that hides the violence you endorsed? You're not fooling God. You're just hiding behind evil ritual and calling it righteousness. Let's not pretend. Your ballot is your witness stand. And what you've sworn to is hatred. You cast your vote against mercy, against compassion, against everything the Torah, the prophets, and Jesus revealed. about justice and love and kindness and mercy. Then when people of conscience call you out, you play the victim as if you're under attack, when in truth you are the perpetrators, the ones inflicting harm on the outcast, on the poor, on the orphan, on the ones Christ called blessed. Spare me the whining about cancel culture and all the people who are going to cancel you now. Those who are righteous and just have the right to cancel business and relationships with you. And I encourage all just people not to do business with anybody who voted for Donald Trump. Cancel out their business. Casting your vote for Donald Trump was casting your lot with racism, cruelty, and the marginalization of people of color. Do you hear that? No matter how often you bow your head, no matter how much you pray, no matter how many Sundays you spend at church, no matter how many times you wrap your nationalism in the words, God bless America, until you turn away from this brutality, you are not walking with Christ. You are not acting like a Christian. You are a hypocrite. You are a liar, tearing apart what was once a nation of hope, a country now avoided by the free peoples of the world. Can you imagine that? We are the scorn of the world right now. And make no mistake about it, Jesus would not bless what you have done. He would confront you directly and harshly. And in his words, he would say to you, I never knew you.